Well, hi guys, Hamad Benaicha here for undoit.ca. Again, comme d'habitude, un petit bonjour à nos amis francophones. Today we're gonna work on a MacBook Pro model A1708, and you can always find the model number if you look on the back of the MacBook over here, okay, on the first line where it says designed by Apple in California, assembled in China, model number. It's always there, okay. This MacBook came in, had a serious liquid damage. As you can see, you can see the traces of the liquid damage. It would not turn on. There was a missing 20 volt missing, so I fixed it. That's a different story. But also he has a problem with the battery, and I will show you what I mean. So let me turn it on and we'll take a look. Okay, so let me turn it, log in. If I get the right password, which probably I don't. Okay, let me try that one more time. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you click here, you can see the icon is like in black, and if I click on it, it's like a 1% says service recommended. So I'm gonna show you what you look for in the battery. So we click on the Apple logo, and then you go to the about this Mac. You click on System Report over here, and then on the left side you go to say where it says power. Okay, so when you look at the battery information, you should always look at there's three things you should be looking at. First of all is cycle count, condition first, so the condition, in this case is service recommended. Usually we say service recommended, it would say normal if there is nothing wrong. It would say service recommended, or we say replace now. Okay, so service recommended usually is followed by replace now, but it doesn't mean that because it's a service recommended that the battery is still good. In this case, as you can see, the cycle count is very high, okay, 1099, so 1099 cycles. But most importantly, if you click here where it says full charge capacity, you can see the number is really low. It should be for this particular model, every model is different, but for this particular model it should be at least 4000. Okay, so which means that it will not hold any charge. The lower the number, the less it holds charges. Okay, so this battery is completely dead. As you can see, it's not charging. It remains, the icon in this case remain black. So if I unplug the charger, it will die immediately. Okay, so I'm not going to do that, but if I was to do that, it will die. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to shut down the computer, the MacBook, and then we'll take it from there. We're going to remove the power. Okay, I'm gonna remove the battery. As you can see, there's some liquid damage also here. So, okay, so the battery is completely dead. Okay, so one thing I should mention to you about this particular battery is that the cable, the data cable, okay, is not actually, it doesn't come with the battery, so you'll have to remove this one. So I want to mention something before you remove the battery. Okay, because sometimes the battery is actually still good, sometimes the cable is bad. Okay, I've seen it many times. So what you should be looking at is the pins over here. Make sure they are nice and shiny, okay, all gold over here. If you see one that's burn or you know, missing, it could be that the battery is still good. So don't go ahead and replace the battery until you try a different cable. Okay, I think I have one here. If I can find it, I will show you what I mean. Right here. So this is actually the cable that came with it. This is my cable. I was testing it to make sure it's not the cable. So here, the cable that came with this computer, as you can see, there was liquid damage, so it burned the cable. As you can see, this pin over here is missing half, so there is no data that will flow. Okay, because there's broken trace over here. Okay, so that's why I went ahead and I used my cable, and even with my cable it doesn't work, so which means the battery is bad. Okay, so we're gonna remove the battery and we're gonna put a new one. Okay, and we'll take it from there. So I'm gonna show you how to remove the battery. Okay, now I'm gonna do it because this, again, it's model A1708. Okay, every model is different, so this I'm gonna make a video for each model. This model, you can get away with it without removing the entire logic board. Okay, if we take it from the back, you can put a new battery without removing the whole logic board. Okay, but again, that's what I do for a living. That's what I've been doing for 23 years, fixing computers. So I'm used to it. Okay, if this is your first time, you should remove the logic board. Okay, it's easy to do. Remove the logic board. You don't want to damage it. Okay, so what I do for this model, I flip it over like this. Okay, I use alcohol. Okay, and I use let me show you a spatula. Actually, I need 2 of those. So those are the type of spatula I was talking about, those 2. Okay, so again, a little bit of alcohol because it dries pretty fast. Okay, this battery should be easy for me to remove because the client told me that he replaced it about a year ago, so it's not the original double tape underneath, so it won't be too difficult. So it should be fairly easy for me, but it's the same idea. So first thing first, what you want to do, you want to remove these 2 screws over here. So we're going to remove those. Okay, there you go. Then we're gonna remove the battery from this side over here, which is far from the logic board. Okay, there is a few areas you gotta be careful with. Okay, this area over here, because there is some parts in there, and underneath you will see there is also the trackpad. Okay, so luckily enough, those spatulas are flat, so they won't even touch those areas. Okay, the hardest part is the middle one. Okay, the sides here you can do nothing wrong really, because there is a bar here that protects, so you cannot do anything wrong. The only hardest part I find is try to get in the trackpad or the spatula to go in first. So that's why sometimes I use this one just to make some room, because there's double tip right here. So here you go. So I would go gently, try to make some room, and then I will use the bigger spatula. Okay, but again, like I said, this is not the original double tape underneath, so it's not too difficult. But if it's the original, it's going to be a bit harder. So you have to be gentle. It's just add more alcohol as you need. Okay, but it's not terribly difficult. Okay, just take your time. That's all. Remember, this areas is safe. So you will go like this. It's moving already, and I just lift it like that. There you go, and it comes out. Okay, so again, there is nothing really here to worry about. Like I said, it's safe. The only part is this part over here. See, the battery is already coming out with the alcohol because it's not the original tape. Same goes on this side over here. So I'll go that way. So yeah. If it was the original battery, it would be way harder to do. Just need alcohol, that's all. So okay, so here you go, out. And this one is like, it's almost coming out. So let's say if the original double tape was there, okay, you'll have to be careful. So you'll probably need one of those just to make some room over here. Okay, and then try to go that way gently. Or what I would do sometimes, I would remove this speaker over here and I would go from here on this side. Okay, the first time I did that, because now I know how to do it, but the first few times I completely removed the logic board, put it aside until I remove the battery. I didn't want to do any damage. Okay, but again, this is a business, so I gotta move fast. But if it's your own personal computer and you're trying to replace the battery yourself, take your time. There is no rush. Okay, so remove the logic board, and this one is very easy to remove. There is one screw here, and then the rest is over here. Okay, take your time. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit more alcohol. The parts that are Okay, so I think it should come out now. Okay, as you can see, this area over here, that's the one you don't want to scratch, obviously. That's the trackpad underneath. Okay, so remember, take a picture, or if you ever have to remove, remember what you're gonna go. You're gonna go underneath here, or you're gonna go underneath here. Those are the double tape. Okay, so there's not that much, but it's pretty strong. The original one anyway is pretty strong, not like in this case that was easy, okay, for me. So there's here this one, this one, this one. If you can manage to remove it, you can, because the battery, remember the battery is dead anyway, so if you're going to replace it, so you don't have to be worried about it. You can even fold it a little bit. Okay, so yeah, that's how you remove the battery. Just be aware of these areas. Okay, it happened to me once, you know, when I was new, not new, but it was a first model, that I scratched a little bit the trackpad. Luckily enough, I didn't remove anything, but it was a little bit of a scratch. So just be aware of these areas and these two areas. Okay, now we're gonna put a new battery. We're gonna test it. I'm gonna show you what I do before so the new battery comes, most of them come with double tape already. Okay, so what I like to do, I like to put additional tape, because sometimes the tape that comes with the battery is not very strong, or so it does come off. So let me see if I can get the tape. Today I can find anything. I'm pretty organized usually, but okay, so where is my big tape? There it is. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll put fresh tape here, so I know that it doesn't move. I don't want it to move after a while, because sometimes the tape that's on the battery is not necessarily always strong, and especially if it's the end user carry the computer back and forth to the office, so it might eventually come off the battery, and then you hear bum 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 bum, and they wonder what's the noise, because one of them would flap. Okay, so like this, I know for sure it will not come out. Okay, so I would add some double tape, and then we'll test, very important, we'll test the battery, okay, before sealing it, before removing the tape. Okay, because sometimes it's possible that even though it's a brand new battery, it's possible that there's something wrong with it. So the last thing you want is that having to go through all that, removing all the tape and everything else. So this is good now. So we're gonna plug in the battery. Okay, I'm gonna put the screws, or at least even one, just for testing. Okay, let's put the second one, because it's not really secured, so I'm just gonna put the second one. Okay, now I'm gonna put the cable. Remember the cable, we need the cable, not that one obviously, because this one is burned. What did I put back? Good cable. Okay, so okay, for the cable, just be gentle, because if you damage anything here, well, then it's a problem. You're gonna replace the battery again. So we'll plug in. There you go. Gently flip the thing back. There you go. Now we can put the trackpad. Remember, this is not secured, so you're gonna have to hold it if you're gonna test it like I do. We're gonna put the big screw here. Okay, and then we'll put the cable. There you go. Okay, so it should be good. So now next We're gonna plug it in, and we're gonna test it, make sure the battery is good, and then we'll can remove the tape, the double tape. Okay, so make sure you hold it with your hand. Okay, turn it on. Okay, now as usual, if you are located anywhere in Canada and you need you have a problem with the MacBook, no matter what the problem is, okay, let me log in. I'm gonna continue my speech there. Oh, wrong ID. Let's go to this ID. Okay, so yeah, so if you're located anywhere in Canada and you have a MacBook issue, no matter what the problem is, okay, it could be a battery, it could be not charging, you spill liquid on it, whatever it is, all I do here is fix MacBooks. So most of the shipping is free. If you're if the repair, you can see on the website, okay. And yeah, so don't hesitate to contact us. Don't you can get a free quote for a free estimate online. Just go to the website and fill up a form, and we'll take it from there. So as you can see, this new battery is charging, okay, so which is a good sign. I click on it, there is no error messages. Now if I go here to the let me close that, let me close all those windows, close. Let's go back to the about this Mac system report. Again, go to the, let's close this window, Amazon Music. Okay, power. Okay, now we're gonna look at the same thing we looked before. Okay, now condition, as you can see, is normal, which is good. Cycle count is 0, which means it's a brand new battery. Okay, full charge capacity 4,858. The other one was 354. So you can see the difference. Okay, so as I mentioned, the full capacity charge is different from one model to another, but for this model it should be at least over 4,000. Okay, so yeah, so it's all good. So the battery is good. I know we can go and seal it. So now we're gonna shut it down again. There you go. Shut down. Yes, please. Okay, so gonna remove the data jack, data cable here for the battery. We don't have to remove it completely, just unplug it. Okay, we're gonna remove the screw. Okay, we're gonna remove the trackpad cable. Okay, now what we're gonna do, you can also remove those, okay, or we can just do it like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna remove this part first. Okay, so just remember, always take your time, especially if it's your first time doing this. Okay, you don't want to damage the board. That's the main part. Okay, battery is not a big deal. I can always replace it. Okay, so always take your time, especially with those models, the USB-C. You know, they're a bit fragile. If you damage, sometimes you could actually remove just a microscopic resistor, then the whole thing doesn't work anymore. So even if you remove the logic board, just be gentle when you put it in. Okay, just don't rush. So let's remove this. There you go, nice and secured. See, beautiful. Now the last one. Cool. I'm gonna have to remove the screws. Okay, so let's remove this film over here, the plastic over there. There you go. Perfect. And we can go like this. So 1, 2. Remove that one too. There you go. All done. I'm gonna just put this over here. Put the other screw. Oh, wrong screw. Also, I should mention something about this model, okay, the A1708. Just be careful because the ports actually, those two USB-C ports, just in case you have one, okay, for the future, the USB-C port are soldered directly on board. So don't, if there was liquid damage touching your charger, you could actually damage that, and it's almost impossible. It's very, very hard to replace the port. The other models actually screwed, okay, so you can always remove them. But this model, A1708, the charger, the DC jack is soldered on the board, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put the screw back. Okay. I'm gonna put, before, this is the last thing you want to plug in, the cable, the battery cable, okay, because once you plug it in, the board is live, okay, so remember that. It's the last thing you want to plug in. The first thing you want to plug out when you remove the back cover, this one. Okay, so there you go. All good. Okay, so let's turn it back on one more time. Make sure it charges. Okay, let's, might need to charge it the first time. Plug it in. Okay, so again, this is model A1708. There's no touch bar. It's 2016, 2017. They are both the same. Same method. Okay, let's see if I get it right. Nope. Let's try that again. Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, A1708, no touch bar. 2016, 2017. Battery is the same. Same way to remove the battery. Okay. Okay. Now, like, as I mentioned, I will do a video for each different batteries, because you cannot apply what I did now on this video to another model. Example, model A1706, which is almost the same year, 2016, 2017. Okay, the battery is different. There is no way you can, you have to remove the logic board for those models. So make sure you always check your model before you do something. And remember, if you remove the battery, the logic board, you can never go wrong. Okay, here you go. So the battery is charging. Okay, let me unplug the charger so it didn't die. So good. Okay, we're gonna go back one more time about this mic. System report, power. There you go, all good. Cycle count 0. Okay, so this is how you replace a battery for 1708. If you have any MacBook with any problems, feel free to visit undoit.ca. Okay, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are located anywhere in Canada and if you have a MacBook with liquid damage on it and if it no longer works, or if you have a MacBook with a broken LCD, a MacBook with a GPU problem, a MacBook that stopped working all by itself and no longer powers up, a MacBook that does not charge, a MacBook with no backlight or a black screen, a MacBook with a USB-C, USB, HDMI ports not working, a MacBook that requires a new trackpad or new keyboard, a MacBook with a flashing folder, whatever it is, you name it, we can undo it. The shipping is free for almost repairs no matter where you are located in Canada, so make sure to visit undoit.ca if you have a MacBook problem. I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you for watching.